Now, you've mentioned a lot of business issues that you brought APRIO to the table to address. If you could sort of round that up into some of the primary issues that you see, particularly today with the economic situation that exists.
Well, right now in early 2009, of course, the crunch is really on cost effectiveness and efficiency in working with whatever an organization is dealing with. Most of the organizations around the world who are feeling the cost pinch in the current climate have really cut back as much as they can on the kind of the variable cost of their operation. Projects have been shelved, etc., and they're cutting way back on a lot of other things. What they can't deal with very effectively is with the fixed cost of operations, and those include the kinds of overheads that APRIO tends to deal with. Managing your board, managing key documentation, reporting, disclosure to regulatory authorities, etc. It's especially pinching for public companies. So we're focused this year really on trying to help people reduce those fixed costs of operations to keep their audit costs down, legal costs, etc., by giving a tightly controlled, centralized database of all the key information in the organization that's separate from their enterprise planning systems or the other larger systems they might have in-house. And we think that's working pretty well. That's the key thrust right now. The overall thrust, though, is to really improve the processes for governance and improve the effectiveness of governance overall. We all know boards where directors get board books of hundreds of pages of information once a week or so before a periodic board meeting. That's just not a very effective way to inform people. And with modern tools, we know that we can make it much simpler for people to find the information that they need, not be overloaded with information that they might want occasionally to have to look at for reference, but don't need to have in front of them all the time currently. And we know that we can really help the internal management suite, the corporate secretary, the chief financial officer, the COO, the CEO, to deal way more effectively with information that comes to them from around the organization and then has to go through to the board. Likewise, to report outside to, again, auditors, legal counsel, regulators. All of that's much simpler with an effective control of the governance information. That's the mandate.